Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite Trayman, and now, I figured I would do this because, sure, everyone's tired of the brain-scratching stuff I've been talking about, like analyzing neo-noir crime movies on a philosophical basis, and sure, that's not everyone's cup of tea, but it just interests me, so I like to get it out there. Once again, to quote David Lynch, if you don't take something down, you don't do something with an idea, it'll go nowhere. And I find video essays are more helpful and easy to do than writing something by hand, because my hand is completely numb. My dominant hand, my right hand. I'm not ambidextrous, no. I wish, but I'm not. So yeah, it helps do that. But I figured I'd do a trip report for you. So last time I did a psychedelic was last Saturday. And I don't consider ketamine a psychedelic. It's technically dissociative. I've gone through this before. I won't go into it anymore. Lately I've been getting the best MDMA I've ever had in my life. It's like completely purple. Same stuff I took in the hippie flip report. But it's like obviously as a result of the synthesis and not just food dyes. When you crush it up, it stays purple all the way through instead of just turning into white powder. That's a good tip to know, whether you're getting legit shit or whether it's just being adulterated with something to make it look good. Plus, I try not to go to dealers who don't have, the test results of their product, ready in that hand. But with that being said, I also only know one person to get 2cb off of in this city. And their 2cb kicks ass. It's very expensive, but it kicks ass. And I was getting together last Saturday with some friends to go and watch for some reason or another in my city over the last week. There's been, I believe, a Honda-sponsored fireworks event where they've been setting off crazy amounts of fireworks every night for multiple days now, so we decided to watch it on Saturday. And my friend, the mountain man, former anarchist, now would be Air Force reservist. Funny how things change. Great guy, absolutely love him. You'll probably see him in some of my next videos, because I find I just have the most invigorating discussions with him. He's way smarter than I am, that's for sure. He's taller than I am too, which is rare. But in any case, he brought the mother load to this. Like, we didn't, especially because we were tripping. He did mushrooms. My other friend just did some of my MDMA, and they were drinking. I'm not a drinker, so I didn't drink, and we were smoking large amounts of cannabis throughout the entire night. And he basically brought a giant tent, a spotter scope, not a telescope, but something that essentially you'd use for, say, hunting big game. Something that will give you a view of about 250 meters in front of you to 400 meters or yards or whatever. I don't know. I'm not an expert on that stuff, but I'm really glad he brought it because it was really cool. Holy crap, the night started off as kind of a fuck up. I had stuffed everything into this backpack right here. My scale, my drugs, my notebook with the writing. I spent probably close to 100 hours going over again and again and again, just every nuance. I thought I had left it on the bus on the way over because I was carrying so many bags, given all the stuff that we were bringing with us. But I didn't do the nexus flip, the MDMA and the 2cb, and like people say you're supposed to nexus flip by taking the MDMA and then waiting until the MDMA starts coming down and then you take 2CB. I personally don't see the point of that. People say it like jump starts the MDMA, but personally, part of why I choose to use 2CB is because it has a short duration and I'm not going to be up all fucking night and morning. So what I choose to do is take the MDMA, wait 30 minutes, and with a parachute of ground up MDMA crystal, that will typically hit me in about 15 minutes. So in any case, I lose my backpack on the bus and everything is extremely busy because of the amount of people going by, but I was going to dose at home, but my buddy, the mountain man, he convinced me not to. He convinced me to wait for the fireworks, so I was peaking. Something that I really started to regret by the time I realized all my stuff was on that bus. But lo and behold, I ran back and I waited for bus after bus after bus to return. And one of the bus drivers was just like, before I went into my spiel about, oh, hey, I lost my bag, blah, 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 he just goes, look in the box. I'm like, what box? And he points over there. Look in the lockbox. I look in the lockbox. There's about 3 other bags, and boom, my bag. Nothing missing. Fucking, like, what, if there's ever a sign from the universe to, dose and have a good time, that was it, man. That, like, put me in the best mindset. I was like at that point legitimately considering just giving up and going home and doing a fuckload of ketamine until I just passed out, and feeling defeated, but I stuck it out and I got my bag back, got to the beach, take the MDMA, took about 150 milligrams, which is probably more than I needed to. I mean, my pupils ended up being dilated for about 6 hours, I want to say. And my pupils rarely get dilated at all, even from DMT, or mushrooms, heavily serotonergic drugs, or MDMA. Like, I very rarely get dilated pupils. I don't know if that's a bad sign, but it rarely happens when my pupils are very dilated. But yeah, so I waited till I was feeling the MDMA coming on, took the 2CB, and holy fuck, it was amazing. We just had this very intimate extension of the main beach. How if you go to a main beach and you kind of creep around the side for a while, you'll find a little opening. There'll be a smaller beach and usually there'll be less people there. Well, that's what we did. And we set up the tent and the scope and everything, and we watched the fireworks, and it was so utterly trippy looking through the lens and watching the fireworks go off. I don't know how much 2CB I did. I think it was probably in the range of about 28-30 milligrams. And I also did 150 milligrams of MDMA, which is more than I needed to do, I think. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I did because I had a great time. And holy hell, the visuals are insane, man. But being 2CB, I was very clear-headed, so I didn't have much in the way of stuff to moan about. But another thing was that the tracers were absolutely insane. I've never seen tracers like this before outside of DMT. Someone would walk by and there would be like a 5-second, 10-second imprint of them. So picture someone walking by and there's like 5 to 10 faded versions of them right behind them. That sounds kind of creepy, I know, but it was fucking cool. And the tracer effect also I found extended to the fireworks. I found especially if I looked through the scope and then looked over towards where the city lights petered off, I would see remnants, like vestigial fireworks going off in the distance. And it was like exactly what I needed, just a night away from loud, obnoxious people who want to just cause kind of trouble. And you know, my one friend who's, you know, she's had to deal with a lot of these people and mental illness herself, and I'm more than happy to hear her out like I am with any of my friends. She unloaded a lot of personal stuff after I gave her the MDMA, and I'm sure the mountain man, my buddy, was probably kind of just like tuning out at that point, but I feel like I got to help her come to some therapeutic conclusions, some beneficial conclusions about her situation. Yeah, and then the other great thing was I could see the stars, like actually see the stars. Like in my city, you're lucky if you can see like 3 stars at 1 in the morning. Like it's the noise pollution, the light pollution is that bad. And you could actually see how bad the light pollution was from the city by looking over at the city. And over at the city, there would be this big orange, whitish, yellowish haze. And mind you, this is like, you know, 12 or 12:30 at night. But over where we were, it was completely black, and you could see satellites going by. I remember I saw, it looked like 3 satellites in a row. That could have just been the tracer effect. But like, we were looking for the International Space Station. I think we saw it. You know, I was able to point out Polaris and then follow the stars from there, and like doing a psychedelic under the stars when you have a good view. Like most of the time, it's like I can see the I don't know if this makes sense, but the symmetry between the constellations. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that I think astrology is in any way valid, but like, you know how they draw lines between the constellations? Well, it's like that, and then I'll see kind of patterns, or depending on how high I am, entities between those constellations. I wasn't that high to see entities, but I mean, when you're in that state though, you can really pick out satellites very easily because their movement is so unnatural compared to just the stars that are sitting there in this very rigid structure. And oh my god, it was just such a beautiful night. And so eventually we decided to pack it in after the fireworks are done, or let's get to the bus stop. A little past 1, we're waiting for the bus. Finally, after an hour, find out it's not coming till 6. So I book an Uber because I got some money on my Uber account. And it's like a $30 ride because it's fireworks, you know, busy night. Guy takes a while to get there because he's got to drop some other people off. And lo and behold, a minute before he arrives, the bus gets there. Fucking fuck me, right? But I was like not gonna cancel on this guy because I'm not an asshole. So, you know, get in his car. My buddy the mountain man's like, dude, I'm so hungry. And I'm like, dude, I'm so hungry too, because I love to cook and eat on MDMA and psychedelics. He's like, I will pay for some fast food if we go to get the Uber driver to go to a fast food place. And I was like, okay, sure. I go to Anda because it's one of the only places open. Uber driver is super busy, so he drops off there. Long story short, I order another Uber, take us home. We have some food. My female friend gets a lift home. My buddy crashes on the patio because that's how much of a fucking just nature guy he is. And we wake up in the morning, smoke a fuckload of weed, and like I could tell I was really, really high the night before because every time I smoked weed, it would bring the 2cb back all day. So I was basically tripping all the next day. And we had some of the most in-depth, exciting discussions I've had in a long time. He's definitely an intelligent dude. As I said, he's smarter than me, but he's really humble, so it's easy to be around him. He doesn't force people into a conversation to be like, oh, you don't know this, you're an idiot then. You know, if we're talking about something, we'll talk about it. That's it. And if, you know, other people don't want to participate, they'll have their own conversation, whatever. Yeah, we hung out and yeah, just had some wild, wacky conversations, and it was, yeah, just overall a good time. And it was like exactly what I needed. And I like realized that night that what friendship should be is getting together with a bunch of people so you can just take a load off, relax, be your honest self without fear of judgment, and be able to talk frankly and to talk about stuff that's stimulating to you, and that you know, and a shared interest, all that, but just overall to have a good time without having to deal with bullshit. Like, I'm very selective about who I hang out with now, because I'm just, like, stress for me equals pain because of my central nervous system condition. Like, I literally will start hurting when I feel stressed or anxious. So, like, I'm kind of selective about who I hang out with now, and it's actually, that's been kind of a good thing in a way, I would say. And I'd recommend everyone kind of do the same, you know. Find people you can trust and who you enjoy being around and who you find it's fulfilling to spend time with, and yeah, you know, hang out with them and go out in nature especially. I mean, I'm sure glad I did. Anyways, I'll wrap it up there. You know, subscribe, all that good stuff. Love you. Mwah. Goodbye.